up. I'm like, Sam, get up.
And then White Walker's sword right through his face.
And then so that kind of starts that retreat. And I was really surprised at that moment by Grey Worm seemingly like leaving behind his men. That just like doesn't seem like what he would do, but I guess he had orders, you know?
Yeah, because they had to take down that like bridge or whatever.
Yeah.
So like to me that was like his look of like, I really hate leaving like my brothers in arms out there, but like we have greater stakes, and like if we're not, you know, like you're kind of like already lost to us, and we have to like take this bridge down.
But yeah, they had to hold the retreat, but that was crazy to see all the Unsullied wiped out just little by little.
I missed that.
Yeah, before they light the trench. Yeah, the Unsullied had to hold it for everybody to get back inside, like Jaime and Brienne as they're all running in. And that's kind of when we get
Did they all get taken out, or did some of them get to retreat?
She brings like 8 back. There's only like, you know, maybe 8 to 10 or something, but the lines and lines of Unsullied are all out there.
I've been meaning to like try to rewatch the episode just so I can like kind of track like if they have any amount left, because we know where they're going after, you know, and what kind of army do we have left?
We have like, and we'll talk about that at the end, but like there's not a lot of people left to go to war again.
No. And why would they want, like, I don't know, it's...
Yeah. That's when we get this kind of moment with Beric having to bring the Hound out of his PTSD again. Again. It's just kind of like, I get it, bud, but like we've done this a lot, you know? Like,
I thought, you know, being like in the Brotherhood now, you'd get a little bit more comfortable with fire. I don't know.
Right.
They made you stare at it for a really long time.
Yeah, you knew
get familiar with the stuff.
Into, like, literally.
Yeah. You knew that fire is one of the biggest weapons you have against these creatures. Like, it's gonna be around.
But Beric
Prepare
has to
yourself.
just like point to Arya, and then luckily that snaps him out of it, you know? And that's also when we get our
amazing
moment with the giant and little bear.
Ooh, I think that was one of the biggest like audible reactions I had up to this point. Was whenever the giant just like knocks her out of the way at first.
Jump back to the Arya scene though, when she's fucking kicking ass.
Oh yeah.
When literally all the men around her are just staring at her
falling
in amazement.
And she gets to use her like dual-ended, you know, weapon.
Like, everyone doesn't I don't think any of the men realized what she was up to the past 7 years.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a scene where like earlier on in the battle where Davos is just watching her use that weapon and just looks like, damn.
Yeah.
and in that scene too, Davos was he was like just staring at her. I think his mouth was open. I don't know, but. It was like, look at her.
Yeah.
Look at this fucking warrior.
She's the Force, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, and like, look at her.
Yeah, and it's nice to see the Hound and Beric, kind of like go snap to like, hey, this is important. She's already holding down the fort, but like you could help.
Let's give her some backup, right? Like because obviously at this point we're her backup.
She was amazing. She was amazing.
But also amazing was that giant and Lyanna Mormont scene. Just oh my god, what?
You knew she couldn't go out like that when he like picked her up too. It was like, you got something in you, little bear. I know you do. I know you do.
Though the sound of her getting crunched was just like
I know.
Oh my god.
And she's still.
And they had that wait. It was kind of a like delayed. And then when she sticks them in the eye, she's like
fighting the biggest thing there. I thought
and
that
she's
was
being
amazing.
the smallest, quite.
Which maybe should have. Oh yeah, cheers. Maybe should have been our like foreshadowing for setting up that it was going to be Arya. That these like young women are the ones who are stepping up to the plate.
The ones you don't expect.
I still thought in the back of my mind it's going to be Jon.
Oh, I did too. Absolutely.
Even after he was like trapped and with the White Walker, I was
See-
still like, somehow he's got to make it. Someone
Yeah.
got to make it there.
Yeah,
Same. Up until the last moment.
the directors at the end, again, I think we talked last time about how we just aren't big fans about what they say. But at one point they're like, yeah, we're kind of hoping everybody would forget about Arya when she runs off, which we'll discuss, I'm sure in a moment. But like, okay, who the fuck's going to forget about Arya? Like, nobody's going to forget about her.
Right.
What you might have gotten most of us to do is think that she was going to do something else. Like, I, for
Right.
one, thought she was going to, like, kill Viserion, the dragon that Jon was facing off.
yeah.
So, like, Jon can get out and deal with the Night King,
Yeah,
like...
Yeah,
I
I
knew
thought
she
the
was going
same.
to.
I thought she was gonna go take out like some of the White Walkers or like somebody else big, but I did not think
big
that.
saving, kind of
When-
moment.
Missandei looked at her on that wall.
When she first came in, yeah.
Melisandre.
And when Missandra had looked at her on the wall, I hit Ethan
Yeah.
and I was like, that's it. That's it.
Well, so let's talk about Melisandre too, because she has to be the one to light the trench. But she's having that moment when that's where I know that there are like 8 to 10 Unsullied left, because they guide her out there on the other side for her to light it. But you can see, because Dany was supposed to light it with the dragon fire, gets lost in the blizzard. But you can see her like doubting herself again. It's taking a minute and her getting more and more nervous, and she just barely makes it. But I even like in that moment, even before the like White Walker or the Whites started like throwing themselves on it, I was like, but wait, how long is this gonna burn? Because that's a rager and you just got some wood. Like,
Right.
you got a couple hours,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
This is not a long-term plan. Hold on. What else is your plan?
But, gotta give it to Melisandre, though. Like, she was basically banished, and she came back to, like, do her duty, see it through.
Oh, yeah.
And she pulled out
Everyone was
some big
clutch.
guns, yeah,
Clutch.
to help out.
Narrow
So-
eyebrows at her. Like, they were like, but they let her do what she had to do.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
She's probably gonna bring some fire with her, so it's
And
fine.
like you were saying, like that pep talk with Arya was everything. Just
It's what
the
inspired
Syrio
her to,
callback.
yeah.
What do we say to the god of death? And then the eyes prophecy
Not today, by the way.
was really interesting because, of course, at the time that she says this, originally brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes, you're like, oh yeah, humans have blue eyes. But then when she says it again, you're like, oh, shit.
Oh,
Those blue eyes.
the big bad has real blue eyes.
Now I've like scoured the internet. Like, who is she killed with brown eyes? Who is she killed with green eyes? I
Walder
can't-
Frey had brown eyes.
I can't find anyone with green eyes.
Well, we're going to talk about that at the end.
Okay.
And then
What color eyes did Littlefinger have? Brown.
Yeah, I think brown. I did love though how they kept like breaking it up with these like slow moments in the castle, like with Arya doing her sneaking and then getting down to the crypts and like,
I loved that so much.
and we fucking called it. Those safe crypts are
Right?
not safe. You know that they raise
God.
the dead.
I
And-
made a ridiculous note
I
about
did.
that.
So nobody of note died in the crypts, right? That was
Not
another
that
thing
I
I wanted
saw.
to check out on the like rewatch. I was like,
Baby Sam?
I don't. Did they make it
No.
out? I don't remember seeing
That would have
anybody
been a perfect
die.
excuse to get rid of like Gilly or Baby
I know,
Sam
right?
or somebody.
I was really hoping they would have
Varys,
perished, and
who
I
we
just
know
missed
is
it.
supposed to die. Like I thought he was going.
I think Olivia hates Gilly.
And
Oh,
Sam
she
and Baby
does.
Sam, both of them can go.
I
they are
hate
more
them all.
useless than
But
Sam.
You
So
kind of remind me of Sam. Like just like,
Baby Sam, I remind you
No,
of
the
Baby
big Sam.
Oh, I remind you of Big Sam.
Yeah, because he's like
Big
incredibly
Sam's
smart.
He's got purpose. It's just
Yeah.
not at the front of the line.
Big Sam is great.
Like I like him. I don't want him to die. He just shouldn't be leading a charge.
Yeah, no,
No,
he
never.
should be in the library.
Never. He was like blacking out on the battlefield. It was like,
Yeah, so nervous.
And I just want to say, I shouldn't be leading the charge either.
Yeah.
I say that like not as an insult. Like let's just all recognize our strengths,
Right.
and that's not one of them for you.
I feel like I'd be headbutting people.
Lauren maybe could go on the front lines.
Yeah.
She might make it.
I'd be okay.
But no, once all those whites start coming out, that moment between Tyrion and Sansa of them holding hands, oh, It was so sweet.
My heart
so touching.
fell out of my body.
I actually, like, earlier in the crypts, whenever things are a little calm, which we didn't mention yet, but, like, there is that moment between Tyrion and Sansa, and they're talking about each other, and, like, you know, she kind of jokes, like, oh, you were the best of my husbands. And they, like, actually, like, pose that, you know, question for real. And then you have that touching moment when they're like hiding behind, you know, one of the tombstones or whatever, holding hands.
I just want to say that theory time, I have long predicted that those two would go back together at the end. I just want to throw that out there. Yes.
Nice.
I've been saying this for a long time.
Well, I like it.
And then there's the one from, the original like outline that George R. R. Martin had to present to like, let me write these books. Had had Arya and Tyrion, like Tyrion falling in love with Arya. So it makes sense that it would still be a like Stark woman that, you know, he kind of like falls for. So I can see it.
But I do want to say now that, you know, this battle is over going forward, him saying, like, we should have remained married, and then her being like, well, it wouldn't work out because of your allegiance, and him kind of hinting. Like, he seems like he's been doubting Dany a little bit lately. And Missandei is a true believer, is down there listening, and you need to be careful what you say in front of her.
She is a ride or die.
Yeah.
I love her.
Ride or die.
There have been some theories that I read that she was going to be the one to betray Dany, and I was like, you guys are off your rocker. And there's no way. I don't know.
14-year-old
somebody who doesn't watch the
doesn't understand the relationship between women, being, like, friends,
right? That's what I was just like. Oh, of course you want more catty women.
Yeah,
no, that's not happening. I know. I thought that was really dumb.
Never.
So that moment too, I kind of want to. So I thought like when Sansa pulled out her dragonglass dagger and like Tyrion looks at it and kind of like takes a big breath, like. I thought Tyrion was going to go out and charge, kind of be like, I got this. And then, like, whenever Sansa fucking follows right behind him, I was just like, ooh, girl. Like,
she was ready.
So brave and
girl.
Courageous. Like, she's come so far.
We talked
and she's going to do it with Tyrion.
In a minute, but like two of our favorite characters who've never really been like, I mean, you could say Dany's kind of been in battle, but she's for the most part like fought with fire or with dragons or whatever.
Yeah.
But
relative
like
safety.
Sansa has like fought with their mind. You know, Tyrion's now been in that situation a couple times, but both Sansa and Dany really haven't, and like just like hand to hand combat. And that was nice to see both of them have to be put in that situation.
Right, for sure.
Because both of them have commanded people into that situation, you know, so.
And it was, you know, if there's ever a time to do it, it's fucking now, because your life and everybody around you is definitely at risk.
I have a question, though, about the crypts.
Yeah.
Now that we're on this. How did he raise the crypt? Like,
so he rose all the dead.
Rose everybody.
But the ones that weren't killed. By
it doesn't matter. Any dead body.
Any dead.
Well, no, because the ones that were killed by the dragonglass or Valyrian steel,
those should be gone.
So they were their own people that rose. But like, how did he raise the like that? To me, it's like, why hadn't he been doing that?
So there is some precedent. Like if you remember Bran escaping with Mira to the cave where the three-eyed raven was, like the skeletons come up out of the ground.
Right.
So that's kind of like
he's done this before.
Yeah, like
he's had literal skeletons.
He wasn't there to raise them.
No, but Bran did wasn't that when Bran did the like wargy thing, and then the Night King saw him, and so he was like, I'm gonna send.
Come there. He was there outside the tree. That's when Jojen dies. He's like walking up. Yeah.
This is season 4, so a long time ago.
I hated, like, okay, so right after the Dracarys moment with Dany, and, like, Jon's rushing, when we think we're gonna get this face-off finally, you know, he's had to get off of Rhaegal, and then he starts raising them right there. That is, like, and then Jon is just, like, kind of, like, keeps going for a bit, and you're like, oh, fuck, like, get out of there.
love that moment. So I wanted to see the Night King fight. I wanted to see him like wield his fucking sword, like show me what you got.
Yeah.
But I also thought it was a real badass move whenever John starts like running, and then he just like smiles and is like, "Oh, please, motherfucker! Like you know what I can do." Raises his hands.
What, like,